Damascus neighborhood lived a young man named Ahmed. He inherited the house from his grandmother, and it was filled with antique furniture and rare antiques. One day, Ahmed noticed a room on the upper floor that was locked with 3 massive locks. He couldn't remember his grandmother ever mentioning it before. So he went downstairs to check the key in the keyhole. It was dusty and rusty, and the key didn't fit. Curiosity overwhelmed him, so he started breaking the locks. 1, 2, 3. They gave way easily, and he entered. The room was completely empty, except for a huge mirror leaning against the wall. It had a strange black frame engraved with mysterious inscriptions that Ahmed didn't understand. The mirror was odd. It didn't reflect clearly. Instead, it showed dark and distorted objects. He touched the cold glass and felt a chill run down his spine. He wanted to smash it, but it suddenly occurred to him that it might be valuable. He decided to move the mirror to his bedroom. It was beautiful despite its strangeness. He placed it on the wall opposite his bed and went to sleep. When he woke up in the middle of the night, he saw something that made his heart almost stop. In the mirror, it wasn't just his own reflection. There was a man standing behind him. He was tall and thin and wore black clothes. His white eyes had no pupils, and he stared at Ahmed with a frightening smile. Quickly, Ahmed turned around, but there was no one there. When he looked back in the mirror, his reflection was normal. He convinced himself it was just a nightmare. But the next night, the worst happened. He woke up to find his reflection in the mirror moving independently of him. When he raised his right hand, the reflection raised his left. When he smiled, the reflection frowned. Then it did something that horrified him. It turned around slowly, as if looking for something behind Ahmed. "Who are you?" Ahmed whispered, terrified. The reflection turned back, smiled a terrifying smile, and opened its mouth, revealing sharp fangs. A voice came from directly behind Ahmed. "I am you, ... the real you." Startled, Ahmed turned quickly, but found no one. When he looked again, the reflection was laughing silently. Its teeth were as sharp as a wolf's fangs. The next day, Ahmed spent hours researching the mirror's history. He discovered that the house had once belonged to the family of the sage Abdul Qadir, the most famous sorcerer in Damascus in the 18th century. Legend said he had trapped a very powerful jinn inside the mirror using a special ritual, but the jinn killed him before he could finish it. Since then, the jinn had been trapped inside the mirror, waiting for a chance to be free. According to ancient manuscripts, Abdul Qadir had used the blood of his only son to perform the ritual, and it had taken his life. This meant that whoever was currently in the room where the mirror was located was about to pay a terrible price. That night, Ahmed decided to cover the mirror with a black cloth. But in the middle of the night, he awoke to find the cloth on the floor and the mirror glowing with a pale blue light. The reflection wasn't his own. It was a terrifying creature with a black face, blazing red eyes, and long fangs. It was trying to break out of the mirror, pounding the glass from the inside with flaming fists. "Let me go." A thunderous voice roared, shaking the room. "I've waited 300 years. Let me go, and I'll give you whatever you want." "I won't," Ahmed screamed, trying to escape the room, but the door wouldn't open. It was locked from the outside by an invisible force. The windows wouldn't budge either. He was locked in the room with that creature. "Then I'll come to you my own way." The genie laughed, a laugh that made the window panes crack. the mirror began to melt like molten metal, and the genie slowly began to emerge from it. First, his terrifying hands with sword-like claws, then his terrifying head, then the rest of his massive body, which filled half the room. Finally, he roared as he stood before Ahmed, 300 years of being trapped in that damned mirror, and now I'm going to take revenge on all of humanity. He reached out toward Ahmed, who backed away in terror. But something strange happened. Instead of grabbing him, he passed right through him like a ghost. What? The genie shouted angrily. He looked at his hands, then at Ahmed. No, ... That's impossible. Ahmed laughed coldly. Do you think I'm stupid? I read about the history of this mirror. I know you can't come out of it unless I call you. Then why can't I touch you? The genie growled. Because I'm not in the real room, you idiot. I'm in the mirror's reflection, and you came out into the reflection too. The real room is on the other side. The genie looked around in panic. The room was completely upside down. The windows were on the wrong side. The door opened the wrong way, and even the writing on the books was reversed. That means you're trapped in the reflection now, and the real mirror is still in the real room. Ahmed laughed. And me, I'm not the real Ahmed. I'm another genie who's been trapped in the reflection for hundreds of years, and I've been waiting for a fool like you to free me. Ahmed's face changed completely. His eyes were black, sharp fangs appeared, and he was taller and more terrifying than the other genie. Welcome to your new prison, he said in a completely different voice. I am the genie that Abdul Qadir locked in the reflection to be a guard over the genie trapped in the mirror itself. But I waited all this time for a fool like you to free the other genie so I could get out and lock him up in my place. The genie screamed in rage, realizing he had made a terrible mistake. He tried to attack Ahmed, but he passed right through him as if he were a ghost. It was too late. He was trapped forever in the wrong dimension. But the story didn't end there, because the real Ahmed was watching everything from the real mirror in the real room, and he was planning something smarter than either of them. The next night, when the genie Ahmed entered the room, he found a message written in blood on the mirror. Thank you for freeing my friend. Now it's my turn to leave. He looked into the mirror in alarm to see the real Ahmed standing in the reflection. His eyes were blazing red, and he had huge black wings. Do you think you're the only smart ones? The real Ahmed laughed. I'm the most powerful genie in the world, and I've locked myself in this mirror for 300 years, waiting for someone to free those two stupid guards so I could emerge and rule the world. He stepped out of the mirror, his whole body now visible. He was huge, and his eyes burned with power. Now both genies are trapped in the reflection, and the most powerful genie is free, disguised as the innocent Ahmed, who was anything but innocent. If you ever see an ordinary man staring in a mirror for a long time and smiling an unnatural smile, he might be one of them. And maybe the mirror you're re-looking into now is a portal to a world you do want to know about. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.